Good afternoon and thanks for joining us in this edition of 360 Degrees on Canal International. And it is now official that some petroleum products have witnessed an increase in the market. We are talking about super, which is moving from 740 francs to 840 francs. Likewise, diesel, that is moving from 728 francs to 828 francs, and an increase of 100 francs per liter. We shall be discussing the various possibilities of Cameroonians surviving at a time like this. Plus, this week in Cameroon is being commemorated as the National Bilingualism Week, a week to consolidate the promotion of the two official languages. We are talking about English and French. In this edition of the program, we shall be looking at the strides made so far and the challenges that are still hindering the effective implementation of bilingualism in Cameroon. Do not move a muscle. We shall be right back. You're welcome back, and thanks once again for joining us. I have some gentlemen with me in the studio that will be throwing more lights on our different teams. Where I have Max Abaiko. Did I pronounce the name well?
That's right.
Yes, he is a young author and a public speaker. Equally, his first time on this show.
Yes, thank you very much. I feel really elated. And it's a pleasure to be here to share knowledge to Cameroonians. Thank you for the invitation.
And this Max, maybe he was shocked, but then the President of the Republic on December 31st made it very clear that the subsidies are weighing too much on Cameroon.
That's right. That's right. So, like he just said to me, I wasn't shocked because we listened to the speech of the president. He had already highlighted that. And when the president mentioned that it's left for the government to come in with implementative measures, so the government just has to react to the speech made by the president on the 31st of December. So it's not a surprise to us. It's just an implementation of that speech. So I think that Cameroonians should have been waiting for this. It's not something the government has given people some time to balance their schedules, to see how they can add some income generating activities to be able to meet up with these challenges. So, but notwithstanding, it's also heavy on some poor Cameroonians.
It's heavy on some poor Cameroonians. Maybe before we move out here, when you look at the measures, just to precise too that negotiations are still going on.
Right.
When you look at the measures on the table for negotiation, is that a way forward we can hope on?
Definitely, it's a way forward, and we should not judge quickly. We should just wait and see the outcome. And before I come to this, let me just throw some light to what he highlighted. Rehabilitating Sonara. I think that the government has experts on this. They must have weighed the cost of rehabilitating Sonara as compared to just increasing a bit the prices. So because you see, if we have to rehabilitate Sonara, it will take billions. You understand? It's not something of millions, because I think that the government is working at the very best of the citizens. So if they think that rehabilitating Sonara will be more costly than just making an increment in fuel prices, then they will go for this, and that is why we are here. I think so. I presuppose. So measures have been taken, and negotiations are ongoing. We should just put our hand crossed and see what will happen.
I saw you itching to react.
Yes, I think that the government has done a lot when it comes to the issue of implementing bilingualism in Cameroon. The first is the government has created linguistic centers. The linguistic centers, but the issue is Cameroonians don't go there. The government has created translation offices in every public office or ministry. But the issue is people are still reluctant. They don't want to translate. People don't want to do their job.
That's why I say there are some people somewhere
yes,
who don't want to
do their job. The government has still created ASTI. Yes, ASTI, that is training translators and interpreters. The government has created bilingual schools. Yeah, bilingual school. The government has made it obligatory in schools now. You must do French and English. So then I can list about 10 to 20, but the issue is follow-up. The follow-up is not there. Yeah, the laws are there, the things are there, but there's no follow-up. So we think even the government has also created a commission, national commission for
the promotion of bilingualism and multiculturalism.
Bilingualism and multiculturalism. And they have been doing their best. Yeah, they have been moving from one ministry to another, trying to pinpoint those ministries that are not respecting the law. But the issue is, the commission seems not to have full power to. That is what the government is doing is best. Just that Cameroonians are reluctant.
Max, as a young author, do you consider the concept of bilingualism in your craft work?
Yes, definitely. When we produce books, we try to translate it to other languages so that people can grasp the knowledge as well. But the issue we have noticed that the Francophones do not read. So more often than not, we leave our book just at the English level. Once we write it in English, it's there. Because we translate it, at the end of the day, people don't buy. It becomes discouraging.
I think reading is a Cameroonian problem and not a Francophone problem.
Let me mention something that he said. I just want to add. He talked about theory and practice. I must say that language is something that needs more practice. You can learn a word in French. If you don't have that opportunity to express it one or twice, you will definitely forget it. So most of the Francophones who speak English in Yaoundé are those who studied the English and they stayed in English areas for a while. So they had the opportunity to communicate, to express themselves before going back to Yaoundé. Now, many of those who do not express themselves in English, but they studied in English system and talk about the Francophones, are those who immediately after they had their maybe advanced level, they travel back to Yaoundé or Douala, and they live in places where they do not have the opportunity to communicate, to exchange, and they forget it. I tell you, I learned Spanish for about 6 months. But since I did not have anybody I can express, I've had to forget it. So, that's it. You must have somebody.
He said something very important, because at times it's better not to translate than to translate what will derail people. That fundamental problem, how can it be tackled?
The issue is the government has already allocated translators in every ministry. I don't know why we are still facing this problem of wrong translations, mistakes. I don't really know, because there is a decree like that. There are translations in every ministry. There is a communication department in every ministry. It could be that they are not doing their job. But this is what I want to say. There is a big problem of bilingualism in Cameroon, which is the weight of bilingualism on Anglophone Cameroonians. Because the notion is each Anglophone is fighting to be bilingual, to learn the French, because it acts as an open door for them to get a job. Each time when you go to get a job, they'll ask you if you are bilingual, if you are an Anglophone. But when it comes to a Francophone, they don't care if you are bilingual or not. And when you see
those are in certain cases.
Yes, when you see a Francophone really struggling to know English or to learn the English language, it is not because they want to use it here in Cameroon. It is because they want to travel abroad, and they know that the English language has more opportunities abroad. So until we equilibrate it, that each Anglophone learns English because he wants to get, as each Anglophone learns French or try to be bilingual because it is the only way to get access to public offices, like you said, public contract, and Francophones also learn English because they have to get access. If we don't put it that way,
unfortunately, out of time. We want to thank you all for joining us today, and to say, take the rendezvous for next Saturday when it is 12:30 on Canal International. So Thank you so much. Bye-bye and stay blessed.